What triggers your Miranda rights and what triggers the officer having to advise you of your Miranda rights is two things. First of all, you must be in custody. And that does not mean under arrest. That means not free to go. So you have to be detained. And second, the officer has to be interrogating you, and that's a term of art. An interrogation is questioning about a criminal investigation, questioning outside standard identifiers and information questions. Did you commit a crime tonight? Is this your gun? Were you at the scene of the crime? Have you been drinking, for instance? Those are all questions that are intended to elicit incriminating responses, and that's another term of art. If the officer starts asking you questions that would lead to you incriminating yourself, your Fifth Amendment right against self-incrimination is triggered. And that's where, if you're in custody, you have to be advised of Miranda. The Miranda advisement says you have the right to remain silent, and anything you say can and will be used against you. That's not the full advisement, but that's critical to what we're talking about. Anything you say can and will be used against you. What that means is, if you said to that officer, I've only had one beer, or I haven't been drinking, but I spilled some alcohol on my shirt and that's why I smell like alcohol, if you end up in court, the prosecutor can and will use that against you. That prosecutor will look at the judge or the jury and say, and this defendant had the audacity to deny drinking. So anything you say, even if you think it shows that you're innocent, can and will be used against you, and Miranda explains that. Now, if you're asked a question like that and you don't want to answer, the best thing to do is to ask if you're free to go. Because, again, if you're free to go, he doesn't have to Mirandize you. If the officer says, yes, you're free to go, you should get up and leave, or you should turn around and walk away and not answer that question. If he says, no, you're not free to go, you have just triggered him having to advise you of your rights. And officers know that. They're educated in that. They get a lot of education, in fact, in that. And the minute he realizes that you understand your Miranda rights, he'll respect them and he'll read them to you if he's a good police officer.